what's up? Jr Boogaloo, representing Motion Sickness, Machine Gun Funk, here in San Diego, California, 2012. I was born in Samoa, 67. I came out here in the US, 68. My first dance was, just like party dancing, when we were little. Me and my friends used to go to these these house parties. We used to go down to Fisherman's Wharf and stuff, and we used to see these mimes out there dancing and street dancers. And they were doing like robot stuff, regular stuff. But we went home and we were trying to mimic them and stuff. So robot. I learned robot first, and locking second. I never heard of popping boogaloo until I moved to LA. So in the Bay, we call it strutting. Same thing as popping. So us saying popping, we would say strut. We saw these guys, I'm strutting. What are you guys gonna do? Oh, we're gonna go strut. So it was just like popping. So when I first learned how to strut, we saw these guys doing a show. Their names were, one of the groups was called Captain Crunch and the Funky Bunch. The second group I saw was Close Encounters of the Funkiest Kind. And when I saw them guys, they straight came out of like a spaceship, and I was like, wow. And then that night, I went back home and I told my friends, yo, there's one group, they were doing something like this. And that's where I first got me inspired. Ever since that, just, start learning how I wanted more information. My first inspiration was a guy named Robotron Jr, Roboting, a Tony Strutter, and Jack and Charlie from the Blue City Strutters. The first time I saw Charlie was like in '77 when he came up to San Francisco. I was at this gym. It was like a basketball gym. I guess Charlie was supposedly battled a Tony Strutter. So everybody was like, yo, they're about to battle. I was like, what? I was only like 11 years old. And I saw Tony Strutter, Heckle and Jekyll, the nicknames for Jack and Charlie. So Charlie was battling against Tony. And the first time I ever saw a Twisto Flex, Charlie broke it down. When I saw that, I was like, what? I was like blown away, like, what the hell is that? It was a good battle. I mean, both of them were just talking shit to each other, like, man, this is LA style. Oh, this is Bay style. Like, whoa, man, these cats are going at it. But when Charlie first did that Twisto Flex, I was like, damn. So I had, I had, what is that called? He said, it's called a Twisto Flex. I go, did you make it up? He says, nah. I said, who did you learn it from? He said, Boogaloo Sam. I said, who's Boogaloo Sam? Electric Boogaloos. I said, who's Electric Boogaloos? I was like, oh, you don't know the Electric Boogaloos? I said, no, I don't. I said, oh, you gotta meet Boogaloo Sam. So that was the first time I heard Electric Boogaloos and Boogaloo Sam. So when I moved to Los Angeles, I moved to Carson, and I hooked up with Jack and Charlie, the DeVoe brothers, Donald, Ted, Danny, Michael Allo, Sam Nico, all these guys from Carson. They kind of took me in, and showed me different styles and stuff. But Charlie was the main guy that I first saw him pop, and he had the cleanest pop I ever seen. Hard but clean. When I saw him, I started taking notes. I'm like, oh man, okay. And this cat was like crazy. So that's what my biggest inspiration was, from him. And then I met the Electric Boogaloos, like Sam, Pete, the Creepin' Said, Boozer, Robot Dane. Met them at the Carson Mall. I was only like a little kid though. So when I met them, I was like, oh, these are the guys on Soul Train. And I was like, wow, I gotta learn this. So it's like learning the bass style and learning LA style. But I learned from a lot of different people, but mainly from Blue City Shredders. Matter of fact, when I was living in LA, that's how I got my name, Jr Boogaloo, because they kept on calling me Jr Boogaloo. It was just, hey, it's Jr Boogaloo. So ever since they started calling me that, I was like, okay, Jr Boogaloo. So that's how I got that name. Back in the days, you know, they used to have dance contests, but the dance contest wasn't like the contest now. You know, it was just like, you know, just like a regular dance contest. You could be dancing salsa, you could be dancing tap, locking, popping, whatever, but it was just a dance contest. And then they would have, you know, like talent shows. You could sing or whatever, but there wasn't a lot of those. Most of the time, there were like just house parties, you know, just mini parties, and that's what was it about. You know, just enjoy the dance and people having fun. You know, people just enjoying dancing. I get a lot of inspiration from like new school poppers, because they help me, like, it motivates me to watch them. You know, because back then it took us like a long time, you know, to get better. These days, you know, they have like YouTube, video cameras, dance schools, so they learn faster. Back then, we learned slower, but we created more because we didn't have no videos. So it was like when we saw one person dance, we'll go back and we're like, I know he did it like this. So, but it wasn't exactly like what he did, but we like created something new. For me, I get inspired by watching people, especially like young kids and stuff. You know, like I get so amazed. Even like old school cats too, you know, when I watch old school cats, I get amazed too. Because, you know, for me, like I'm still a student, you know, like I'm still learning, you know, I'm still active. So like there's no like limit, you know, for you that when you reach this point, like, oh yeah, I'm the master, you know, I don't need to practice. No, there's no limit to learn how to dance. Wow, there's so many. I don't really have a favorite one. For me, I love different styles, you know. A lot of cats from Asia, from Korea, from Japan, from Europe, from France, you know, even my crew members, you know, like everybody has their own, like I can't say there's one guy that is the best, you know. I like everybody because they have their own, like their own flavor. I say for the new generation, you know, just learn basics, foundation, history, you know, learn from different, you know, from different people, not just one person, but just try to have an open mind and learn as much as you can. Don't be too serious about the dance. You gotta learn to enjoy and have fun with it too. It's not just a battle, you know. Don't practice just for the battle. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but just learn how to enjoy it and love it. That's what I want to say, you know. Thanks, EBs, like your Boogaloos. Wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And all my crew members and everybody I used to be down with back in the days. Much love, respect.